This is Omari Robinson speaking. Just let everyone know how important parents need to read to their parents, read to the children. Why is it important? Because if you read to your children, you get to find out exactly how much your children know and how much you need to know. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, well, let me break it down. Because, first of all, when parents read to their children, they get to find out exactly how much the children need to understand life and all the things that goes on in the world. Like what? Well, like you used to read to me when I was real young, and you used to teach me about all the things about Africa. That's why I have my hair nice and dreadlocks and everything. Okay, and what else? Well, I always always learned also about how. Let me see. About Jim Henson and how great he of a puppeteer he was. Okay, and what else? Well, it's just important when you read to your children, you get to find out so many things. Really, and what else? Well, like I learned about. Let me see. Let me think. Yeah. I learned about the circus and how important it is to be nice and kind to everybody, to everyone, to children, and to everyone that you come into contact with. Oh, okay, that's really interesting. And what's the name of this show? Oh, like I said, this is Cool Vibes, and this is Omari Robinson. Back to you, Herb.
Thank you very much, Amari.
You're
Welcome to
welcome.
our show. I'm here now with Mr. Jim Robinson. Mr. Robinson has been a puppet master for 25 years, and his relationship to the art has been phenomenal. He has been an inspiration to not only our children, but also to our elderly in giving them inspiration and making them feel a part of living, which is so important in our lifestyle today. And the relationships that he has been able to provide information in regard to the way that parents should be able to treat their children, to even having an opportunity of encouragement for children to feel that they are part of his presentation, is something that is really important, and what we're going to discuss today with Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson, thank you very much for stopping by and being a part of the new relationship that we're developing for our community through the Cool Vibes environment. Mr. Robinson, now you grew up in Newark,
Yes,
but
sir.
you are a New Jersey citizen.
Yes, I am.
Now, in your idea of developing this concept, share with us what gave you the inspiration to do it.
Okay, well, growing up as a child, I used to watch a lot of Jim Henson and different puppeteers. And when I was in fourth grade, I used to go to McKinley Elementary School right here in Newark. And a puppeteer from New York, Bernice Silver, she came and she performed at McKinley. And that inspired me because after her performance, she came to the school, to each classroom, and actually shared with us and let us actually handle her puppets.
Now, the idea of what you're saying in terms of how you were exposed to it at an early age, and then it really gave you the idea that you can do this as well. What really gave you the idea that it would be something that can help others?
Well, growing up, my grandmother was a geriatrics nurse, and a lot of times she would bring puppets to the adult center, and I saw how the seniors lit up when she brought puppets in, and she never considered herself a puppeteer. She always felt that it was important just to give back.
As a craft, the accomplishments that you have been able to develop in these characters has really brought on a personality. How many characters do you actually have?
Currently, about 400.
What?
Yes.
400 puppets?
400 puppets currently.
In what areas do you find the most resourceful?
Um, just basically life, just watching people's reaction, interaction with people, and you get to pull different characters just from interacting with people.
Now, Omari, he's Afrocentric.
Yes.
And I heard in your monologue earlier about how you inspired him to become a dreadlock wearer.
Yes.
Now, all of them focused on particular nationalities or cultures?
Most, yeah, it's a mixture of different cultures. Then I have one set of puppets that I call thinglings, which are the skin is two different colors, and that came from growing up being a Star Trekkie, and there was an episode where there was a group of race of people that were white on one side, black on the other, and then I decided to use that inspiration to create these type of puppets to be able to teach kids and even adults the acceptance of tolerance.
The acceptance of tolerance. Share with me a little bit more about what you mean in that relationship.
Well, in relationship to accepting, not being prejudiced just because someone looks different or acts different than you do.
How has that been helpful?
I've been able to go to perform at Indian events, Native American events, so many different Irish events, and just to see the reaction, even to the adults, how the adults react to them realizing, hey, you know what, racism is stupid, but I bring it to them in such a way by using these puppets and with comedy.
A lot of the shows that are on TV today focus on the idea of using puppets as a way to create a storyline.
Yes.
In regard to a lot of the issues that go on. Have you used that concept in opportunities that you have had to do your presentation?
Yes, I have. I did a presentation up in Connecticut, in New Britain, Connecticut, where I did a presentation on about accepting handicaps, and I had puppets that were butterflies. Some of the butterflies had 4 wings, some had 3 wings, some had 2 wings, and how the butterflies interacted with each other, and that they didn't see any difference just because one butterfly had 2 wings, the other one had 4 wings.
How were you able to manifest that kind of presentation, multiple puppets? Are you alone when you do this?
No, a lot of times at that point, for that particular event, it was a summer camp, so I used children, taught children how to use puppets, and then the children went to various daycare centers and adult centers and actually did that.
So it's interactive.
Yes, very
and
interactive.
I guess it's not really that complicated for someone to just jump right in and begin to work with you.
No, just to have, they just have the mindset that they want to learn and have fun.
Now, you don't do this on a full-time basis based upon an income. What really gives you the motivation?
Just to see a child's eyes light up. There was an instance I had a few years back. I did a 7-city tour down in Louisiana, and as part of the tour, we went to Lafayette General Hospital. We went into this room, and I was dressed as my clown character, Bobo, and this young little girl that was in the bed. I was performing for her, and as I was performing, her father was just totally amazed. After I finished in a room about a good 20 minutes, half an hour, left out, her father said, listen, he said, you have no idea what you've done. He said, my daughter, it's the first time I've seen her for 4 years smile because she has leukemia. And he said she's always in pain. And just to know that I was able to bring joy to a child, at that stage in her life was just incredible.
I would believe it would be so. We're here now with Mr. Jim Robinson, who's a puppet master, and he has been really engaged in putting together presentations using this craft for the past 25 years. Did you really start out with such an elaborate figure such as Amari?
No, actually, my very first puppet that I ever made prior to Amari was in fourth grade at McKinley Elementary School, and it was school erasers with glued on eyeballs.
Really?
And just using that, I had the eraser and the chalk, and they were communicating about how who knows more. There's the chalk no more than the eraser, and the eraser said, "Of course I know more because some of the fact that I'm able to erase everything that you put up there." And it was just a constant interaction between the two of them.
You know, that's really something that sounds to be very inspiring and brings joy.
Yes.
In your whole persona, now, we've been sitting here talking, and you've given this puppet a personality. I mean, as if the puppet actually knows what we're talking about.
Well, of course I do.
How long did it take for you to build that kind of awareness?
Phew. Took me a few weeks, actually weeks to a few months, just of constantly taking a puppet and working with him. Like Amari is one of the puppets I built, I actually made, and just like I said, just interacting with people, and just watching people's reaction to different things. He was named after a friend of mine's son, Amari Waring. His mother, Debbie Warren, she's a face painter and storyteller, and her company's called Afrocentric Parties. And after being around them, that's how I came with the concept of Amari.
Now, you have this really gravelly voice. It almost sounds like one of the characters that Jim Henson created.
Yes.
Has anyone ever told you that?
Actually, yes. And as a matter of fact, I did audition for the Muppet Animal. And maybe one day I might get called, but if not, that's fine. I'm enjoying just touching the world as possible.
Do you need to have characterization in your voice when you're becoming one of the puppets?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're able to transfer different personalities, and it takes you out of yourself. It takes you out of yourself. There's another puppet I use called Latoya. She's very flamboyant, and she's a combination of Chaka Khan and Maria, the woman that played Maria on West Side Story.
Okay.
She's a combination of the two of them.
And that relationship really draws the kind of energy that's necessary for many of the individuals that you are giving your presentation to feel that they're actually the character?
Yes.
And that's really interesting. Is that really a concept that you can be able to teach individuals?
Yes, I can, yes.
Have you ever done any workshops?
I've done several workshops over the years. Done several workshops teaching puppetry. I used to teach at Union County College, College for Children, and here in Newark at Essex County College for Children, teaching puppetry and magic and clowning.
Now, you've also used another character, Bobo the Clown, as you had
Yes.
mentioned earlier. Was Bobo the Clown your first character?
My first clown character, yes.
Okay. And Bobo the Clown compliments the puppets?
There's someone and they actually he does, but they're somewhat of a competition because Bobo is very egotistical.
Really?
Yes.
And looking at the idea again of the pattern and how you have to create these different types of moods and attitudes, if we were to come up with a way in which you can develop a concept that educates people about a particular area of their lifestyle, would that be appropriate?
Oh, sure. I've done, did a workshop. I have a presentation because I'm also a magician also, and just teaching people how teenagers how important it is to be careful of the influences that they come to them. Where I do a magic trick where I take razor blades and I swallow the razor blades, and I take some thread, swallow the thread, and then I pull the thread out, and the razor blades are tied onto the thread, showing how just maybe one thing may not hurt you, but those things in combination can damage your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a brilliant idea and a decent concept. One of the other workshops I think that you shared with us that you also do is building the puppet.
Yes.
Now, it's not really that complicated.
No, it's not because basically his skin is stretch terry, which you can get right at the fabric store,
Mm-hmm.
and his skull or skeleton per se is foam, and it's very simple to glue and sew together.
Oh, I see. To even put together something this incredibly
Yes.
elaborate. And how I was able to meet Mr. Robinson was at a Kwanzaa festival, and he actually showed us how you can take just some fabric and a couple of uses of some tools. I think you had some eyeballs or some
Yes.
golf balls.
Yes,
Share with us
eyeballs.
again exactly what it was that you used to create this this puppet.
He was the name of the puppet is called. He's named him after one of the teachers at high school, Kwaku Ado, and he's just basically his body is basically a ring called peepers, which is two eyes that make a ring. A lot of
So you can buy this from the craft store?
craft store, and even some of the gumball machines have the little
Really?
little eyeballs.
Oh, okay. And so go on.
And his arms are actually his arms are baby doll arms, and his body is just basically inside of his body is basically the leg of a pair of long johns cut off and stuffed, and with the kente cloth body, kente cloth over top.
Now, how much difference is Omari from that character?
I'm not sure what you mean as
In,
far as
in terms of how Omari is put together. I see
costume or
shoes and
Kwaku doesn't have any legs,
right.
because I built him right then and there, and but he has rods, control rods on his arms,
Okay.
and but Omari stands about 36 inches,
Mm-hmm.
where Kwaku is about 24 inches tall.
Now, Omari, how do you feel being one of the primetime characters for Mr. Robinson?
Well, first of all, I love Daddy. And that's good, and I love the fact that, hey, am I on camera? Hey, everybody. Hey, Ma. I have to say I love my mother. My mother's a sewing machine, and it's just great to be here. All these lights, this is cool.
Well, you've been incredibly calm. And now that I am talking to you, you seem to really show what has been on your mind. What do
Well-
you think of this setup?
Oh, this is nice. This is really cool. Well, but the thing is, my donut just kicked in.
Your donut.
Yes, 2 chocolate chip donuts.
2 chocolate chip donuts just kicked in.
Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Donuts.
Is that right? You're a Dunkin' Donut lover?
Oh yes.
Is that right?
Anything chocolate.
Now, what has been your greatest inspiration being a puppet?
Being my puppet, well, getting people to understand 4-fingered people are important, because I only have 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone who has 5 fingers, I like 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like Miss Piggy, man, she's hot. Hey, she's Kermit's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I know, but she's still gorgeous. I like pork.
It was a really interesting thing when Jim Henson came up with this idea and this concept. And I think you told us that there were some relationships in regard to Big Bird and
Yes, the Muppeteer who does Big Bird and Oscar is the same guy. His name's Carol Spinning, and he's one of my heroes. I know him personally. He's my mentor, and he tells the story of how him and Jim came up with the concept of the character of Oscar, which is through they were in a taxi cab going to lunch, and the cab driver happened to be named Oscar and had that gravelly voice. And when they got out the cab, Jimmy said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a character after you." And the guy was like, "Yeah, whatever, Mac. Just get out my cab." And from there, then when they got to the restaurant, Jim quickly sketched out an idea.
Well, as you know, We Care Partners has been creating a number of events, especially in terms of raising awareness around health and wellness and beauty and fashion. And we would certainly enjoy if you would enjoy the opportunity of having you join us.
Sure.
This is a great concept that can be an improvement to what it is that we're looking to do in providing an opportunity to develop responsible citizenship. And this is something that I think is very encouraging. How would you like it if we would work with you to create your own show?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Sounds
well,
great.
that seems to be one of the areas that we're going to begin to touch base with. And now that Mr. Robinson and his brilliant concept of using puppets is going to be part of We Care Partners, we're going to be looking forward to creating more opportunities where we can develop the types of programs that are going to be very important for our youth and our senior citizens to enjoy. We thank you very much for coming by and giving us an opportunity to work with you. We want to look forward to making more opportunities for you and developing a way in which we can be a partner to you and Mr. Amari. Amari, thank you very much for coming and being with us, and we're very happy for having you here and having you on our team. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. We want to be able to build a better opportunity this year as we're moving forward to recognizing what's important for our communities with our Responsible Citizenship Crusade. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you again next time.